A group of old friends gathered in Chippewa Falls last week to create a tribute to one of their classmates who followed his dream to become a professional actor. Anyone who saw a Chippewa Falls high school music or theater production in the mid-'80s noticed Guy Adkins out front, smiling, singing, dancing, standing out, and starring. His talent was impossible to miss, and those of us who worked with him back then or saw him knew that even though a career as a professional entertainer is a long shot and a tough road, if anyone was good enough to do it, it was Guy. The 1987 Chi High graduate went on to become a highly respected professional actor, a major star on Chicago's top stages. In a touring production of Sweet Charity, Adkins co-starred with film icon Molly Ringwald. One reviewer, despite a lukewarm reaction to the movie star, made a point of praising Guy's performance, calling him superb in the role. Adkins even provided the voice for one of Kellogg's Snap, Crackle, and Pop Rice Krispies characters in commercials for several years. He was Pop. A little over a year ago, after he was diagnosed with cancer, Adkins started posting his thoughts on a Facebook page, which began drawing a following, topping 1,000 people by the time he made his last post. After Adkins died of cancer May 12th at age 41, a couple of his high school friends started planning a memorial in his hometown. We caught up with some of Guy's family and friends over the past week as they gathered in Chippewa Falls for the funeral and memorial project. I'm here with Jill Hippis. Jill is Guy Adkins' sister, and I asked her to meet me in Irvine Park in Chippewa Falls because this is actually the first place I met Guy and saw him perform. He was 10 and I was 11, and it was an adaptation of Alice in Wonderland called Alice's Irvine Adventures about 31 years ago. You remember that show, Jill?
You know, I do vaguely remember it, and I remember him being the White Rabbit back by where we used to drink water in the fountain, pure water, and he was in his glory.
Well, for most of us, it was our first play. Like I said, we were 10 or 11, and we considered an award-winning performance to be remembering most of our lines. But there was one kid in the cast who could actually act. That was Guy. And my folks saw it, and they still talk about seeing him perform as that. Tell me about Guy the kid. He showed some talent at an early age.
He did show talent. He was raised with 3 older sisters, or maybe 4 mothers, as we would say in our family. So he always had somebody giving him attention, and somebody would watch him perform. And the one thing that I remember more than anything is him being able to memorize and recite and act out every story on the album Free to Be You and Me.
Flash forward to the last year of Guy's life. He was diagnosed with cancer. He had a very bad prognosis, but he took on a very positive attitude about it, and Guy was always very interesting. People were always fascinated by him. I remember them kind of jostling to be around him, and he took that last year and made a very memorable mark on over 1,000 people with a Facebook page when he started posting these notes. Tell me a little bit. Now, you're a family member, so you probably had talked to him about what was going on, but then he started posting these, and as people started reading them, it became a following. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I think, when he was first diagnosed, he readily accepted his diagnosis, and he knew that he did not have a long time to live. And his outlet, especially after having all of his treatment with chemotherapy, was his writing, and his writing of a blog, and how he really felt going through chemo and dealing with cancer, and how people treated him, how they supported him. He had some of his history and some stories that were new to us through his blog, but it was just a wonderful way to learn more about Guy and really who he was and what he was dealing with, and he really met the cancer head on in a very powerful way.
And have you heard from other people how they were affected by reading this?
Oh, many, many people. And I think just, for each and every one of us that would follow his blog, it was always waiting for the next one to come. And that was the excitement, and it was also the sense of hope that we all had, is wanting to have him feel good and beat this cancer like we all would set out to do. I think some of the most rewarding entries or messages that we've heard are some of the doctors that he was so fondly, he liked so well, have taken some time to read the blog and commented on how it has changed their lives and their profession, and really understanding and knowing what somebody is dealing with when they go through the severe chemo treatments.
Last Sunday, the day before the funeral, I caught up with Guy's lifelong friends, Sarah Keller, now Hoffland, and Tammy McCormick, now Bryce, as they gathered with other Chi-Hi alumni to create a tribute to Guy in his hometown of Chippewa Falls, in the basement of the Heidi Center for the Arts. We talked about the blog and the project. What was it about those notes, you think, that it gathered a following online?
I think Guy had something like 1,200 friends, and he told me at one point he didn't know many of them, but I think he just had a life philosophy that was amazing and very, very positive and fearless in the face of cancer, and I think people were inspired, and they just wanted to learn what it was like to go through that process.
Mm-hmm. I found myself thinking that I don't think he set out to, but he managed to turn cancer and dying into another starring role. Is that a fitting way to explain it?
I would agree.
So tell me about the project that is going on here, Tammy.
We wanted to have a memorial for Guy from all of his Chippewa friends. And it couldn't be your normal bench. It couldn't be something simple. It had to be spectacular, like he lived his life and how we thought of him. We just wanted to find something, and we realized that it was the orange couch that Guy spent most of his time, and where the friends that came to visit him spent time with him, and it became an icon. He actually started a Facebook page called Orange Couch. And so we said, an orange couch, that's a great idea, and he also was in the arts. Okay, Heidi Center for the Arts. Okay, this is coming together slowly. And with the awesome help of the Heidi Center, we came up with the Guy Adkins Green Room. And we right now are organizing and reorganizing, and we'll be doing that for many months to get them a green room and a makeup space and a prop room and honor Guy, and I think it's the perfect way to do that.
You didn't say, let's plan a memorial to have sometime in Chippewa Falls. Sarah, you said, let's get something done this weekend.
Yeah, we had a week. Exactly.
So,
yeah.
and you have come from some of the farthest. You came from where, Sarah?
The Detroit area.
And Tammy?
Iowa. I'm afraid to say it.
And we've got people from California here, from all over the country. Is there anything you want to add about this that we didn't talk about?
I've just been amazed how many people responded to us, and people that we had heard from in some of them 20 years, and people who weren't on our email or Facebook lists, and we're really grateful for that. And I think it shows what an impact Guy had, even among others who maybe didn't say that, but his impact was very wide.
We plan on doing a concert with some of the alumni and the people that are here tonight in July. Brady Swenson is planning on coming back from Germany, and Mike Walk, and a lot of people that still currently, have entertainment being a large part of their lives. And we're going to have another concert here in July to raise money for the Green Room to continue what we're doing here.
The concert is scheduled for Saturday, July 17th. A successful career as a big city stage actor did not cause Adkins to forget his small hometown. Guy performed a concert at the Heidi Center for the Arts in Chippewa Falls a few years ago, at which he debuted a new song he had written for the city, a song his partner Sean Krill calls a love letter to Chippewa Falls.
There's a place I love, a little place up north, a trip up 94. A place where I grew up, a place of yesterday. But now the more I stay away, the more I seem to hear the voices in my ear, calling, here boys, so I'm going home again. Follow the highway's bend, somewhere in the distance I hear their call. Chippewa Falls, Chippewa Falls, Chippewa. Driving into town, the Wagner Street hill climb takes me back in time. Or winding down a road that leads me through the park, and just before the darkness falls, it beckons from the west. It echoes in my chest, and I need to heed the call. So I'm going home again. Follow the highway's bend. Somewhere in the distance I hear the call. Chippewa Falls, Chippewa Falls, Chippewa. The crystal waters flow, the river and the snow, the whistle of the train, and those who know my name are calling here, boy. So I'm going home again. I'll follow the highway's bend. Somewhere in the distance I hear the call. Chippewa Falls, Chippewa Falls. I'm drawing near you, I hear you clearly. Chippewa Falls, Chippewa Falls, Chippewa.
That's Newsmakers for this weekend. I'm Dan Lea. Thanks for joining us.